Hey, what's happening, everybody out there? This your boy, Mr. Pound for Pound himself. It is going downtown, all the way down. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna do a little pre-fight prediction on the Amir versus Lamont Peterson fight coming up. It's gonna be a good fight. It's at the Convention Center in Washington. It's gonna be for the WBA and the IBF light welterweight titles. Excuse me, titles. And it's gonna be December 10th. It is gonna go down. It's gonna be a good fight. Let me just get a little bit of pre-fight prediction, and then you guys can throw me your whatever you have to say about it. Your obviously your views and what you think is gonna happen. Well appreciated. I like chatting with you guys, and whenever you post comments, that's great. I like to chat back with you. I'm always down for that. Amir King Khan coming off that big victory against Zab Super Judah. Wasn't so super that night. Got the TKO and got the KO in 5, knocking Zab Judah down to 41-6. He looked great in that fight. I mean, he pretty much did what I thought he would do mentally. I could went with my gut instinct and said I thought that Judah was going to catch him, but that wasn't the case. I did predict, I said if I went with my mind that Khan is just way more technical, longer range, rangy. Taller, he's 5'10", he's got all the skills to beat Judah, and that he did. So the logical pick obviously won. He's coming off some great wins. He beat Malinaji, he had that brawl with Maidana, and then the McCloskey fight, which I really didn't care too much for. I'm not gonna give him too much credit for that win. But Lamont Peterson, let's slide over to Lamont. He's been fighting some decent fights. He's still got a good record. He's 26-1. That one loss, unanimous decision loss to Timothy Bradley. That was a good fight. I saw that fight personally. Really good fight. It was a brawl. It was a war. Bradley had him down, I think, in the early rounds, and they were brawling. I mean, it was a great fight to watch. They were really going at each other, toe to toe. Ironically, it's funny because Lamont Peterson fought one of my stablemates back in '08, Rogelio Castaneda Jr., who I happen to spar with on numerous occasions. And he, of course, he won that fight via TKO, as I'm sure I would have did the same, but we won't go into those sparring sessions. Anyways, Lamont Peterson on his side, I mean, he's a good fighter. He has a good record. He's 5'9", so he's right there in height with Amir. He's 29-1. I mean, he's got a good record. 15 KOs. He has some power, but I mean, he's not really a power puncher. But, everybody likes to call themselves power puncher. Now, he got the draw against Victor Ortiz, and that was a good fight. That was, it was a real close fight. Majority of the draw decision. I heard a lot of people say that they thought Lamont won the fight. I personally thought it was really close. Could have went either way. I really didn't care too much at the moment for that fight. But hey, as far as name, you might have wanted, name and star power, you might have wanted to just give it to Victor, but they just decided to just label it as a draw, which I think was a good choice. You possibly set up a rematch in the future. But I just don't see any intangible qualities in Lamont Peterson that I can just say he's going to beat Amir Khan. My personal prediction, I think Amir Khan's going to win. I think he's going to win by stoppage. I think it'll be somewhere around the later rounds. I say 8, 9, and 10. He'll stop Lamont Peterson. I think Lamont is durable. I think he's tough. He has a nice jab, but he's more of a brawler, and you could tell a lot of the times when he gets into brawling and transitions, he's off balance. And I know if you guys go back and watch some of his fights, he's really off balance. His reaction to speedy punches isn't that great. So with that being said, I mean, Amir Khan is a fighter that's very technical. I wouldn't say, he's a super great fighter, but he's a very technical fighter. He has a good jab. He has a good right hand. His hands are high. Everything comes in a quick bop, bop. It's a quick 1-2, quick 1-2-3, bop, bop, bop. It punches how they should come, punches and bunches when they should come, and then his hands go right back up top. He's almost like a really glorified, really, really, really fine-tuned amateur fighter. In a way, he doesn't have no spectacular qualities to make him like a Shane Mosley in his prime, where you could run off, a 5-punch combo, step to the side, and run off a 3-punch combo. Nothing that we haven't seen that yet. Very possible he could, but just nothing spectacular, yet from Amir. But very good and very seasoned and very, very technical. So I see the technicalities of Amir Khan are going to break down Lamont Peterson. And it'll probably be mainly the range. I think his jab is going to bother Lamont. I think the 1-2 and his body punching, which is getting better for Amir Khan, I think is going to bother Lamont. I think also the speed is going to be a main factor because, like I said, Lamont Peterson doesn't do good when speedy punches come toward him. If you go back and watch when Lamont Peterson fought Bradley, when Bradley ran the combinations off and he got off first, I mean, Lamont Peterson was pretty much there to be hit. When Lamont did good was on the inside fighting of that fight, when they were up close and inside. Now, we all know Amir Khan has the questionable chin. I mean, the chin is just not that great. He gets hit, he gets stumbled, he looks to break a little bit. Now, if Lamont comes out and actually wants to fight that night and actually really wants to try to win those titles, then we could see a really good fight. I mean, but he has to come and bring it. You know what I mean? Amir Khan is on a real good stretch right now of victories. He's got his confidence on high. Just KO'd Judas, so he's gonna have a lot of confidence. So Lamont needs to get in there and break that confidence down early. You know what I mean? You get in there with a young kid who's coming up in the ranks, who's as a title holder. You got to break them down early. You can't give them any time within the fight to gain any more confidence than they already have. You got to break them down, and by breaking their will, what Lamont needs to do is study a lot of tape. Okay. And this is what I would personally do. Lamont, you're probably not going to hear this before the fight, but if you ever do, study the tape, look at his best qualities. Maybe it be, let's study the jab. Let's study the right hand. Whatever the case that you want to study, whatever the case may be, study it and find a good counter shot for that one thing. A lot of the times, a lot of coaches, they like to study fight footage and then they like to study the whole fighter. And then they try to counter everything that whole fighter's doing. And then when they get in the ring with a really good fighter, and then they're finally in the ring with the guy, they say, oh man, things aren't working. Boom, they get knocked out. Like, let's say you try to study Amir Khan, his jab, right hand, his combos, body shots, boom, boom. Okay, we got a solution for all this. Then you get in there and things don't work. It's because you're studying too much. You know what I mean? When you're going to fight a guy that's young, fast, determined, confident, you go in there and you concentrate on one or two things. You either take his jab away, or you concentrate on his heavy right hand that he has, or you take away his footwork by going to body. You don't want to have your mind full of things to think about. Oh, what am I going to do if he does this, or what am I going to do if he does that, or if he does that? No, because see, you train so much on so many different things on getting to the guy that by the time you're in the ring and you get hit, your mind starts saying, well, I'm going to do this, and you start conflicting with each other. But if you work on one solid thing, like let's say getting past Amir Khan's jab, he could possibly do some things that night. I mean, we could possibly see, counter shots over the jab. I mean, if you perfect it. But do I think he's going to do that? No. And do I think he's going to have enough speed to deal with Amir Khan's speed? No. Range versus range, it will be for Amir Khan. He's going to be more rangier, depending on, Amir Khan has a 71-inch reach and Peterson has a 74-inch reach. So it really just depends on the height and how Lamont Peterson wants to use his 3 extra inches of reach. He's, an inch shorter, but he has 3 more inches in reach. So that all depends on how he wants to either stand up a little taller or bend down a little shorter. It's either or in how he's training. So it really just all depends on Lamont. You know what I mean? What type of fight this is going to be. And it also depends on Khan and what Khan shows up. But like I said, I don't expect a lackadaisical, lethargic Khan. He's high on confidence. I don't expect him to be slow in any case. I think he's going to come out guns blazing like he did Judah. He's on a roll. He's on a streak. He's got good sparring down there in his gym that he's at. Freddie Roach, classic gym and great fighters, great trainers down there. So I don't think he's going to come and let off a little bit. If anything, it's going to be Lamont Peterson's fight to lose. So Lamont has to come and he has to really bust it. You know what I mean? He has to go in there and go get it. If not, we're going to see another mechanical breakdown, possible stoppage toward the late rounds of the fight for Amir Khan. And that's just what I think is going to happen. Like I said, Khan by TKO or KO late. All right, guys, have a nice time.